GOP leadership now scrambling to lock up the votes on that tentative debt ceiling agreement that we're hearing about, which is expected to go before Congress this week as Washington desperately tries to avert a devastating debt default. Let's bring in Florida Congressman, combat veteran, Brian Mast. Congressman, I almost called you Brian there. We recovered together. We'll talk about that in a minute. Congressman, this deal is something that it seems the Speaker and President are really big on. They both are messaging it. They're putting it out there. As a matter of fact, let's listen to what they had to say about it.
When Republicans had the presidency, the Senate, and the House, did they ever cut spending? No, they increased it. We were able to do this when the president said he wasn't even going to talk to us. This is really a step in the right direction.
It takes the threat of catastrophic default off the table, protects our hard-earned and historic economic recovery. No one got everything they want, but that's the responsibility of governing.
So where's the brass tacks here? Are Republicans going to support this bill the way the Speaker of the House want them to?
So number one, Triple J, you know it's always okay if you call me Brian. We're brothers in arms. We came home on the same flights together. We got nothing but love for each other. Going back to the issue at hand, you know, the question really is, it's not, is it a step forward? It is a conservative step forward. It is a step forward for Republicans, the bill, no doubt. The question that everybody's struggling with is it enough? Is it enough given the weight and the opportunity that you have with the debt ceiling and what you can negotiate out of that? And thankfully, Kevin McCarthy, and I give him nothing but praise for this, he's sticking by the 72-hour rule, making sure that we got the text of the bill last night, and we're going to be voting on this probably on Wednesday. Everybody has the opportunity to review this roughly 99, 100 pages.
Yeah, we all remember you got to pass the bill to know what's in it. Kevin McCarthy's changed that in his remarks. He said he's trying to change the way things are done. You've got 72 hours from about 10 o'clock last night. Do you know if you're a yes on this or not?
I haven't committed yes or no yet. Like I said, I'm taking that 72 hours to review it and decide for myself. You know, we talked about student loan bailout. Is it enough to say that we're going to make students start paying back those loans in 60 days and let the Supreme Court deal with that? Is it enough that we're not ending the 87,000 IRS workers forever, but that we're taking care of it for the next year? Those are kind of the way some of these things are being looked at. They're absolutely advances forward. It's conservative policy. It's good things. I can't say that I've read anything negative in it whatsoever. The calculation, I think, for everybody is simply, is it enough? You
know, that's a good point. You said you don't know if you've read anything negative. In other words, we've shown twice now this laundry list of things. We have increased spending for defense funding and veterans benefits in there as well, though. So Republicans are putting this argument, hey, we're fiscally responsible. The government is spending too much money, and there the top line is we're going to increase spending, but maybe not as much for something like defense. Americans sit here, they watch the war in Ukraine, they see the money we're spending on it, and we take a step back and say, hey, are you being fundamental, are you being true to your fundamentals as a conservative if we're still growing the debt by $4 trillion?
Yeah, so you look at the numbers, and this is probably the first time this may have ever happened in American history, that the spending for the next year is going to be flat, if not even lower than it was before. That never happens. Usually in Washington, D.C. talk, they say, well, we're cutting spending, and that just means we're not increasing by as much as how people mean that in Washington. It will probably actually literally go down, go backwards, you know, like the old Paula Abdul song, 2 steps back. And that would be a first time in history. So again, just evaluating, is that enough versus some of the, you know, major trillion-dollar cuts like repeal of the Inflation Reduction Act or something that I wanted to see. Certainly other people wanted to see that. But again, it's a negotiation on this. Yeah. And let's not forget about what's at the other side of this. The other side of this is you default on America's debt. Yeah. It puts at risk the U.S. being the world's reserve currency. Our ability to borrow if we are attacked. Imagine if we were in a situation where we were attacked by a China or by a North Korea or by somewhere else, where you had to actually go out there and sell war bonds and try to fund something a different way.
No, I think Americans
have that ability to borrow.
Absolutely. I think Americans understand full well the need for the government to function and be funded. This is a fight that politicians are supposed to have, and good luck to the Republicans in Congress to get it done. Real quick, you and I recovered together. Like you said, we came back on the same flight together. People are real nice to me because I learned to use prosthetic legs. I saw you do it with your hand sewn to your stomach to save your arm. I have all the respect in the world for you long before you became a congressman. This is Memorial Day, and I'd like to give you a chance to give us your message for it.
Johnny, we know a lot of the same guys, Day, Eckerd, Trueblood, Vickers, the list goes on. And when I think about Memorial Day, I think about the courage of the people that we know and the responsibility we have to try and get their courage to be inspired in other people. When we see a gold star or one of the markers, or when we hear taps, or even if you see a flag at a car lot flying because they're saying it's a Memorial Day sale, think about the courage of those people that you and I and so many of our friends knew, and just find every way to get that inspired. That's what America needs, is the courage of our friends.
Congressman, I'm proud of you. Thanks for coming on and pleading your case on this deal, letting us know where you are on it. And most importantly, thank you for serving this country and keeping the memory of our fallen brothers and sisters alive.
Proud of you, brother.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.